Zepparella. Welcome to the Zepparella Learning Channel. This is my second video in my three-part series on how to play John Bonham's parts in Kashmir. So now we're going to take it to the bridge. In the first video I talked about the basic groove of the song, and now we're going to talk about the part that comes at 2 minutes 11 seconds. So this part comes from the descending guitar line, the ba da 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 da, that thing. That part always goes for 4 measures before it goes into the chorus or between the verses, but this one time you only hear it half as long. So that's one tricky thing, one potential train wreck. You have to remember when you're going to the bridge, you're going to only play 2 measures of that descending line. Zeppelin doesn't make it easy for you coming into the bridge because they move from 4/4, or Bonham moves from playing in 4/4 time to moving to 9/8 time. What does that mean? It means that he's adding in an extra 8th note beat. It's easy to, when you let go of all of that stuff and just think that starting on the 4, on the 4th beat of the second measure of the descent, you're going to play 6 16th notes and then come into the bridge. So you can count it either as 4E and a 1E, and then to the crash of the 1 of the bridge, or you can count it as 4 2 3 4 5 6. So however you do it, fine. Don't get too tripped out by it. Just think that there's an extra beat. They added an extra beat, which Zeppelin does all the time, all the stuff that keeps you on your toes. So I'm going to play it from the 2 measures of the descending line into the 1 of the bridge. 1, 2, 3, 4. So in the second measure of every 4 measures, there are 5 4 measure parts of the bridge. In the second measure, every time, Bonham does a kick drum fill. This what happens 4 times in this song. It happens in the first 3 2s, the first 3 second measures, and then in the 5th second measure. And it sounds like this. 1E and a 2E and a 3E. That's it. Just keep working on it. Keep speeding it up. Keep goofing around with your foot, trying to find the way that it feels as solid as possible. These kind of things took me a long time. My kick drum foot is the bane of my existence. So it can, it can be tricky to do it, but this is what the first 2 measures look like. Set of 4 measures in that second measure. The way that Bonham plays it is like this.
3 triplet and a 4 triplet and a 3 triplet and a 4 triplet and a.
What I really worked on was just making this pattern between my kick drum and my snare drum. And trying to make that feel even. And starting to see it more as the kick drum was propelling the snare drum. I've talked about this in other videos where when I'm working out a part that I'm having a hard time kind of coordinating the different limbs to do at the same time, I think about one hit propelling the next hit. So just going like this for a little while. And then getting it up to speed can really help you in this part. So those are the second measure things. Now let's talk about the fourth measure of each of the 4 measures of the 20. This is where you are right up with the guitar. What I do is I leave out the kick drum on the and of 4. I don't know why I do that. I got into the habit of it a long time ago. I feel like that little bit of a space somehow works really great with the guitar. And that sounds like this. Each hit has to be very precise in that part. You'll also see that sometimes you hit yourself in the head with the stick, which I do all the time, which is why I have little divots in my forehead, which you may notice every now and then, or a little Barney Rubble that pops out. Anyway, this part, the guitar is going ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da. And I want to talk now about the visualization that I am using as kind of the bigger message of these videos for Kashmir is playing with your imagination, playing with your visual sense. Like I said, I clamp down the hi-hat, and in my mind, let's talk about the visualization, I imagine Gretchen's fingers on the strings. I imagine actually the small, like how a guitar string is plucked, like it's just like it's such a small movement. It's such a tight, tiny thing that's happening, and I'm trying to like basically play her guitar string with my hits. So there's this whole little visualization going on in my mind. It's not necessarily telling a story. It's more about like trying to make every hit as precise, as right in the pocket as I can. And I think when that happens, the bigger groove of the song kind of pops out when everything is just exactly lined up like a computer. Like every line is just exactly there. There's no flam. There's everything straight on. I think it really, for some reason, it really pops this part out. So that's what I try to do when I'm playing the bridge of this song. I'm goofing around with my foot and trying to get those feels, those quicker things, and the placement of my bass drum really perfect. And then I'm really trying to clamp down on this part and really bring it into a different place than the rest of the song, so that when we come back out into the descending part, everything starts to get bigger, and there's a juxtaposition between this tight feel and then the bigger, wider part of the song. So that is the bridge to Kashmir. Thank you so much for watching. In the next video, in the last video of this series, we'll be going to the chorus, and I'll be talking about all of the fills of the chorus. I'll be talking about the choices that I make live that are different than what Bonham did, and we'll also talk about how to remember a long epic song like this. So stay tuned. Thank you.